Hi everyone, my name is Noah and welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna be closing the window because there's so much noise outside. Hi everyone, my name is Noah and welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna be filming a video that I've been wanting to film for a little while now, and it's how I learned English / how to learn a language if you're trying to learn one and you don't really know where to start. If you're not familiar with me and my story, I am a French born and raised boy. And I have now been studying in the US for couple years, 3 years. I just finished my 3rd year. But I've always been in 2 languages and my English got better and better, and people often ask me how I have such a little accent. I don't want to say no accent because I feel like I still have one, and there's definitely some words that I still don't know how to pronounce, and you could tell me how to pronounce them 1,000 times, I would still pronounce them wrong. But yeah, the way I learned English is, to me, very methodical, and I really took those steps religiously, and so I thought I would share them with you guys because it's such a good guide. Well, it was such a good guide for me. So the first things that gave me the basics of the English language was taking it in school, and now that's a very big difference, I think, between the US and France or European countries in general. I know languages in Europe are really important in school. We have to learn another language, if not 2, starting in the middle of middle school, whereas in the US you get to choose your classes a little more, I think. And so foreign languages are not always put forward as importantly as they can be in European schools. Now I know this is not an opportunity that everyone has, so my first tip would just be buy a book or look online for the language's most important rules in terms of grammar, in terms of vocabulary, just everything you can pick up that you would read in a textbook, because this is just going to give you a good basis to start on and be more comfortable in your abilities, and everything will just be better down the road. See the dope man trying to get it right. Open up a Bud Light. The next step, and it's really important to me, was listening to music and watching movies in that language that you're trying to learn. Now it was very easy for me to practice that with English because basically every song... Did I just say thong? Every song that I wanted to listen to or movie that I wanted to watch was already in English. But you should do that no matter what language you want to learn. It's important because it helps you get used to the music, like the sounds that are associated with that language.
Papillon.
Butterfly.
Farfalla.
Mariposa.
Schmetterling.
Every language kind of sounds different. If you could associate it with the music, then Italian is very smooth, and my camera's dying, and I'm back. So I was saying, what was I saying? So yeah, it helps you get used to the music of that language, but it also helps you pick up on some slang words or the words that you wouldn't find in a textbook but that everyone kind of uses in their daily life. For movies, I did that in kind of several steps, and it was honestly so smooth and so perfect for me to learn that language, and I could actually see the process. The first thing you're gonna do is watch that movie in the language that you're trying to learn, but with subtitles in your language. So basically, if you're French and you're trying to learn English, this is the first step, like right now. I know it's pretty common with English because not all movies coming from the US are dubbed in other languages, so sometimes it's just subtitles. Again, it helps you get used to how the words sound, the pronunciation of them, while still being able to understand everything. Then little by little, you're gonna switch. Okay. Then little by little, you're gonna switch from subtitles in your language to subtitles in the language you're trying to learn, with still the sound being in the language you're trying to learn. Now this may be the hardest step because if you're not really sure what all the words mean, then it's gonna be a little hard to pick up on every single word and understand every single dialogue. As long as you understand the gist of the sentences, of the conversations, and of the storyline, then that should be okay. You're just trying to pick up on words, you're gonna pick up on pronunciation, and now you're gonna see how these words are written, so it's just 100 times better. And I did this very progressively. Like, I would watch a movie with French subtitles and then one with English subtitles, and then I'd just switch for another movie to French subtitles. And finally, the last step is you're gonna be able to watch the movies in the language that you're trying to learn without any subtitles. And that's like probably an N in itself, but it also helps you with the language. I know this may seem really hard and it takes a while, but honestly, you'll be so proud at the end. I was so happy when I watched my first movie in English without subtitles.
Congratulations! Congratulations!
So all those first steps were helping you to understand better what was said in that language, but there's also the talking part. And now that's something I was very fortunate to do, and I know not everyone can do, but when I was a teenager, I was lucky enough for my parents to send me to trips in English-speaking countries, so the UK or the US, just so that I could learn the language. And I honestly cannot stress how important that was for me. Like, I think it changed everything. There's different organizations that you can go through to be able to go on a program that goes in those countries, but at the same time, you can take take classes to get better at that language. If English is the language you're trying to learn, then I'll put in the description box the link to the organizations I went through when I did my trips. But honestly, being totally immersed in a culture and in a language just puts you out of your comfort zone and forces you to talk and to understand, because else what are you gonna do? Now at our age, we're kind of lucky because if we're not able to travel to another country, we're still kind of able to infiltrate that country's internet. If you can go on social media, start talking to people in that language, it's probably not gonna have the same effect because it's still writing and it's not really talking, but it still helps you express yourself and understand people, and you gotta do what you gotta do. Finally, the last step that I took, and that if you can take, that would be absolutely amazing, it would change everything, because it changed everything for me, was study in that language. So as I said, I'm now a third-year student in the US. I go to UC Berkeley. I just left my French high school. I didn't go to an international school at all, but after my baccalaureate, which is the final exam for secondary education in France, I decided to go abroad and just started studying in a language I was not used to talking on a daily basis. I honestly think that that's when my English switched from being really good and fluent to being really bilingual. So these are my little tips and the steps I took in order to learn English. And I'm not bilingual, so maybe you should listen to me. And if you're still trying to get convinced that you should learn a language, you definitely should, because it's so interesting and it makes you learn so much about the world, about different cultures, gets you out of your comfort zone. I made so many amazing friends and met so many people that would have never met if I couldn't speak their language. And that kind of makes me want to learn every single language in the world, because what if your soulmate speaks Japanese and you can't? Don't miss out. Like, sometimes I feel more comfortable expressing myself in English and I feel more outgoing when I speak English than French, and it's just weird. So learn another language and find out what personality you like more. Okay, I think that was basically it for this video. That's everything I wanted to share with you guys. If you speak another language and learn it in a very different way, or even a slightly different way, let me know in the comment section down below your tips. Also, let me know if you have any video recommendations or things you want me to film on my channel. And I will see you guys next week for a new video. Bye.